Wednesday, the 26th of May. Hello, everyone. And last week, at our midweek reflection, we spoke of money and we spoke to Paula, the church treasurer. So, as I said, this week we'll be looking at time. And I decided that I would ask just two of our members who do different jobs within the church about what they do with their time for the church and then why they do that. So I hope you enjoy listening to the two stories that are about to follow. Well, it's actually three. The first one is Muriel Fairley, who is our shop manager in the Big Kirk shop. And then while I was interviewing Muriel, there were a couple of ladies in on a Monday morning, because that's when I did the interview with it being quieter. So they were there sorting through things, and we managed to get a quick chat with one of them as well. And then following that, we have an interview with Jean Alexander, another member of our church, and she is going to be telling you about the time she mostly spends doing pastoral work, but also quite a lot of other things as well. So let's listen first of all to Muriel, to Jessie, and then Jean. So we're here in the shop with Muriel Fairley, who of course is our shop manager at the Big Kirk shop on East High Street. So Muriel, can you tell us, what do you do as the shop manager?
Well, that's a good one. Well, I do the book with the shifts, what everybody's on, and get in touch with them if they're not well, and just organise skips and things like that, make final decisions.
Oh, so you're the boss.
I'm the gaffer.
You're the gaffer. Now, I'm going to ask you this, a bit of tongue-in-cheek. How many hours a week do you spend doing either in the shop or working for the shop?
Well, I always do 6, because I do a Monday and I do a Wednesday morning. But then I step in for other people sometimes if they're sick. And I think I do maybe 20, 25.
Okay.
But I enjoy doing it.
Right, and I just want to stress, of course, this is all voluntary work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody choice. No, it's my choice.
Yeah, and nobody in the shop gets paid?
No.
No. And roughly how many volunteers do we have in the shop? Just approximately.
About 24, 25.
Right. Yeah, on and off, and people that come in and help out at various times.
Most of our volunteers are back. Well, all of our volunteers are back since COVID.
Excellent.
So that's working out much better for me.
Okay, and just as an add-on here, how's the COVID thing going? Are you doing okay with it?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, quite happy with all the precautions and everything. Now, I'm told, because you're the shop manager, but I'm told we have the cheapest prices of any charity shop in the Forfar area. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
And why do we do that? Why do you price it so low?
Because we're a community shop and we have 100% profit on whatever we get in. Everything comes in as donations.
Okay, and of course it really helps the people who are in the community as well, especially those who are more in need.
Yeah.
Great, that's smashing. And what do you do with, we sell goods, so what else do we do as well as selling goods? Because I know sometimes we can't sell everything because of maybe the condition they're in or whatever. So what would we normally do with stuff we don't sell?
We recycle most of it. I've got a rag man that comes when I get in touch with him, and he takes away the rags and the shoes, handbags, bed linen, and I go to the shop in Castle Street with the bric-a-brac.
Okay.
It's recycled there, so there's very little goes to in the skip.
Right. Okay, and then also within the shop, we do the recycling of our crisp bags, don't we, as well? And
yeah, that started again. It was stopped because of COVID.
Right, so
it started again.
And people, if we're ever doing anything, or the community's doing anything, they can ask us to help out as well, can't they?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Would you say the shop has its own little community?
Yeah.
Same people coming in sometimes,
But we're getting to know the folk from out with Forfar. There's a good lot comes up there, Broth, and also Dundee, Montrose. Once the buses are, they're back to normal now, we're gradually getting them back.
Right, so it's got a community of itself, and we're offering another thing there for the community.
I've got the regulars that come in, actually. On a Wednesday, there's a lot of regulars comes in, and we hear catch up.
Brilliant. And last question for you, I don't want to hold you too much longer, is why do you spend so much time doing God's missional work? Because this is God's missional work. So why do you want to give over that much time to it?
Well, I enjoy the shop for a start, but also I've been a member at East and Old all my life. And then when I joined the church and then I became an elder, I promised to share my talents. And one of them's talking. I'm very good at that. And money, sharing my money.
Okay. And of course, your time.
Yeah, my time as well.
That's right, which you do admirably. So thank you very much. And please pass on our grateful thanks to all the shop staff who volunteer in the various capacities. And also a big thanks to people who donate their goods to our shop.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Muriel.
Thank you.
Here we are in the back of the shop today with 3 of our volunteers who are sorting through our donations. So this is where it all happens, what gets sorted out, cleaned, tidied up, presented, and then put out on the shop front being priced. So rather than interviewing everyone, because they don't want interviewed, we've concentrated on Jessie. Hello, Jessie.
Hello.
Now, Jessie, I think you might be our eldest volunteer. Now, is it all right to say that you're what age are you now?
91.
91, and here you are still volunteering in our shop. We're really grateful, so thank you for that, and thank you to everyone. But why do you do the volunteering?
It just makes me feel good and useful. At my age, you feel you want to be sort of some use.
Wonderful. And of course, you freely give of your time, and that's something, of course, that we all said that we would when we joined our church.
Yes.
That's it. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for all the work you do. We're really, really grateful. I'm here in the church with Jean today, and Jean's going to explain the various roles that she has. But also just to say, you may hear some background noise in the church today, and that's because, unfortunately, we had quite a bad leak sometime between Saturday and Sunday morning. Our radiator burst, and it's pretty much flooded in the actual sanctuary. But talking of time today, because that's what we're talking about, we're really delighted that we have a number of men have come in this morning to sort out all the problems because all our chairs have sucked up the water, as they say, or soaked it up. So lots going on, so you may hear an odd noise. So Jean, it's lovely to see you today. Thank you very much for meeting with me. And can you explain some of because we're talking about time today, and asking you what kind of things do you do? What's your roles within the church?
Well, I'm an elder. Have been for quite a few years now. And initially I was on, when we had a board, I was on that a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. And through that you began to learn about what an elder does. And then I agreed eventually to become an elder, and through being an elder you tend to take on various roles. My main one was pastoral, which was visiting people in their own homes, visiting people in care homes, but I had a team working with me. One person can't cover all the things of any committee, so I had a very good team of men and women who visited. Sadly, the last couple of years we've not been able to visit because of COVID. We have tried to keep in touch by telephone and sometimes not been able to do so much, but we've delivered gifts, small gifts at Christmas, cards at Easter, that sort of things. We do what we can to keep in touch with people. That's my main role as elder. Beyond that, it's helping at various church activities, really, like the Cozy Corner, our Tuesday soup and sandwich lunches. I make up the rota for that. We have lots of volunteers who provide the soup and the sandwiches and help on the day.
Can I maybe throw in there one of the other, what I term as one of your big jobs, and that as free will offering leader and duty treasurer?
Oh yes. Yes, through helping on the offerings, counting offerings on a Sunday, gradually that grew into being uh, the person who organised the helpers, the other elders who help on the count after us on a Sunday morning, and just doing the background paperwork and linking up with our church treasurer, who we pass on the information from each Sunday, and the treasurer then records all that on the computer. So sort of the link that way. Yeah, that's a regular thing. And
Okay, well, I know for a fact that you do an awful lot more than that, and we're not going to go into it because I know that you don't like to talk about the things that you do. You just quietly go on doing them, which is a wonderful trait to have. But I know what you do, and I'm very, very grateful as minister here that you do what you do. So, how many hours a week would you say you put in roughly to doing things within the church? Just approximately.
I've never really thought of the hours, because some days I might not be doing much to do with the church, and other days I might be spending a few hours. There are days where I don't. Well, Sundays, obviously, I'm always involved.
But quite a few hours, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Well, quite a few hours in the week, but it's not sort of regimented.
Okay.
So it's difficult to keep track of, really.
Okay. And you mentioned about the Cozy Corner rota, but you also do the Music Cafe rota as well. That takes time to do that. And also, I recently asked you about starting back up using our minibus to pick up our people who struggle to get to church on a Sunday. Now, that involves a little bit of time as well, does it not?
Yes, I call everyone who's on our list, and not everyone one of them can come every time. So because we've been closed and because of COVID, then I'll be phoning around all the list to see who is happy to come back in the bus. Although it won't be many on the bus at a time because restricted space-wise, but we will have a few. And as you said, we may be operating the bus 2 or 3 times a month rather than once a month to give everyone the chance. So I will be phoning them very soon. It's basically keeping in touch with people and being a link.
Okay. So my final question for you today, Jean, is why do you spend so much time doing God's missional work? Because it is, it's a lot of time that you give of your own free time, and it is God's missional work. So why do you do that?
Well, I enjoy it. I think it's part and parcel of being an elder. I know I would never put anybody off being an elder, because as well as helping people, you're getting something back from them, plus from the other elders in the church. It's a two-way thing, and I do have a bit more time maybe than some people, because all of our family's scattered, and so I don't have grandchildren on hand to look after or anything like that, but we have to go and travel to go and see all the members of our family. So in a way that gives me a bit more scope. But I enjoy just being with people, really. And to me, the church is a great way of making friends and getting to know people.
Okay, Jean, can I just say thank you very much indeed for chatting with me today. And as Minister, again, thank you so much for all that you do for Eastern Dole Parish Church, but very much for God's mission here in Forfar and, of course, further afield as well. Thanks very much, Jean. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies, for that question and answer session that we just heard. Very, very interesting, and thank you for all that you do. But in today's world that we live in, time is such a precious commodity. We might not think it, but it really, really is. And many people say, oh, we can't do this because we do this, and we don't want to take on any extra work or attend any other meetings or whatever. So I, as minister, am exceptionally grateful to all the members of East and Old who use their time to further God's mission in so many ways. And I mean that in so many ways. It could be like, I think Jean mentioned the Cosy Corner. Well, members of our congregation make the pots of soup for that and make the sandwiches. So that takes time. Many people just pick up that phone and phone someone, or they could be a listening ear for them to listen to. So although you may not think that picking up the phone and chatting to someone for 5 minutes is either God's mission, or whether you think it's really not taking that much time, it really, really is. And people are very grateful for it. So time and money we've discussed over this week and last week. And then next week, we will be talking about talents. So thank you to everyone who gives whatever time they have in furthering God's mission. And as I said, it can be from a simple thing to something much, much longer that takes up a huge amount of time. But thank you for doing God's work. God bless everyone.